Thank you for your patience, everybody. We've got Heponwana back again with some Below the Ocean. Take it away, Heponwana.
All right, so real quick setup before we just jump into this. Below the Ocean, it is a 1-bit style precision puzzle platformer. As we go through, I'm going to die a few times. I like to have a reason to donate some extra money during a run like this. For every death, be it intentional or unintentional, I'm going to donate $5 because this is a fantastic cause. Let's give money. Let's help kids who are facing abuse get some help, get some support. Let's do what we can. So I'm going to donate $5 per death. If you want to join me with just $1 per death, anything that you are able to, let's donate, let's raise money for this great cause. I'll explain what this game is as we go along, but this is a showcase of 4 different 100% categories back to back. Time will start when the first category starts and it'll end when the last category ends. So to start, we select chapter 1. As soon as we click speedrun mode, we go. So with the timer, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so Below the Ocean, we are this little underwater diver guy. We hook up to oxygen tanks, we have a tether, sometimes our tether will break, and if it breaks, we don't have oxygen. That's not good news if you're below the ocean. See what I did there? Below the ocean. We need to grab all these gems. That is the point of the 100%. So each chapter has a different amount of gems. This one has 8. The gems do not collect until you tether to a large oxygen tank, so think of it like Celeste with strawberries, if you know that game. You don't just get them the second you touch them. So our tether has a given length, and by going around this rock, we shorten it, and we use it to fling up. Another important thing about our tether is it has physics. So as it flops around, it will actually interfere with some of my jumps. We're going to hope it doesn't cause me problems, but who knows? If you saw my previous run, I'm good at having things go a little off script, but that's all well and good. You just roll with those punches. So we climb up these walls. Blue things typically kill you. By the way, that there is a coyote jump. If you know coyote jumps, they're named for Wile E. Coyote. He would run off a ledge and then jump, or not necessarily jump, but still have gravity, still have something to stand on after falling off of a cliff face. In this game, we have coyote jumps when we slide down walls, and we'll use that a couple times. Bubble, by the way, lets you float in those currents and gives you a second jump. We want to keep this bubble a little long so we can grab this. We want to keep this bubble, and the reason we keep it for so long is so we could just quickly get this gem. Instead of going down for that bubble in the bottom left corner, we could just cut all the way across, and we're just going to keep moving along. By the way, this game, if you press up or down, you can affect your upward and downward momentum some, and I'm using that to very finely control my movement. This game is very finicky on movement, and it is where a lot of the speed tech comes from. We're going to use this bubble. Don't jump because we need the bubble still to ride the current. We will burst the bubble before we hit those spikes in the ceiling. I mentioned $5 per death, including intentional or unintentional. Intentional comes up right here. We are tangled up. We use that electric block to charge that little thing that opens the door. We would have had to untangle. Untangling is great for a casual run. I am trying speed run, so I'm just gonna have to occasionally detangle by checkpoint abusing. So we're just gonna, end our life, come back, and be at our place again. Luckily, doors we open remain open. So we'll just keep moving. There is some speed strats you could do for this room that are a little unique, where you could have a bubble from the previous rooms, and then you could get through this, keep the bubble, and it's a very complex thing that is very tricky to do. And unfortunately, one of the sad things about this game is there is nobody running it except for me. In the past, there were people who ran the first 2 chapters, but not the later ones. So unfortunately, I don't have too many guides for how to do some of the speed strats. Pretty much it is self-discovery, so I always encourage people, if you want to try a really chill game, this is available on Steam, it's available on itch, and this here is the end of the first chapter. Like I said, we're doing 4 of them, 100% each one. The chapter ends as soon as I fade in all the way, so we do a little dance. We celebrate getting the treasure that was below the ocean. We had 4 deaths, so I need to remember 4. If people in chat want to keep track of those for me, that would be great. Otherwise, I'd need to try and remember the number 4. Let's get a coyote jump right there to get over that air tank. And now we are in Chapter 2. Chapter 2 offers a few unique changes from Chapter 1. You'll see some of them as we go along quite soon. Chapter 2 also, I believe, has some more death potential. We'll bop a turtle. I don't like to bop turtles if not needed. That's a friendly turtle, but that turtle does give a speed boost. We are going to bop a few turtles as we go along, but hopefully not too many turtles. We'll bop an occasional turtle or 2, but we want to be friendly to animals. Just like the previous game Gibbon showed us, we want to be friendly. We want to also keep this air bubble because we're going to use it to avoid some crabs and take this under section instead of going up and around. You don't need to grab every air tank you come across. That one on the left slows you down. It's not needed. Be careful, our tether is long enough to reach those spikes when it is straight out, so we want to be careful on that. Avoid these crabs. Another air tank that we will skip. You could have gone up back there, but it's not speed friendly. Very hidden secret here. You can see the sparkle at the top of the screen. We could bop hermit crabs. So we are going to try and do some very good speed tech right here. This is going to be very close. Thread the needle, get right through there. That is incredibly tricky to do. We're going to bop some turtles as platforms. Like I said, be friendly turtles, but unfortunately my jump was a little short there. But sometimes you've got to bop a turtle in a game. Luckily, game turtles don't feel it. They're fine with me giving them a little bop. We grab this gem. Some of these gems are a lot more hidden than others, like this one going through that little hole in the wall. We are now battling our tether. The physics of it was flinging me around a little bit. And then we will pop up here and find a new power-up. Blue bubbles you could use as little kind of boosters. You could control where we go. We're going to bop this turtle. If we died and missed that turtle, we would have had to wait for it. The cycle would have reset unfriendly. So here we're going to take more advantage of these blue bubbles and just keep on going through. By the way, I want to give a shout out to the music in this game. It is so good of music. Like, it really sets that haunting feeling of being under the ocean or below the ocean. By the way, the blue bubbles, we could stretch our tether a little longer than it is. I could not reach that air container that I got, but because of the blue bubble, it stretched my tether just enough to reach it. We are now going to go without a tether. Oh, I moved slightly wrong. The controls on this game are a little bit finicky. And grab that and get through. Ideally, you could do that without grabbing an air tank. Unfortunately, I had to grab one because I went a little off course. Grab this blue thing and skip most of that room by taking advantage of the tools we're given. Unlike the last game where we used the no tools because we were gibbons. So here, there's going to be a hermit crab. I'm going to guess on the left. He could be in the middle. He is sparkling. That means if we bop him, we are going to get a gem from him. And how will we bop him? Well, if you get electrified, you could bop things that are alive in this game. And so there is a gem that comes out of him, but first we'll get that fish that opens the door for us. As long as you have this spark, it doesn't matter if you're tethered or not. If you're sparked, you could take out creatures, and those creatures oftentimes are responsible for locking doors. We will grab a little safety air. We didn't necessarily need it, but it is helpful to get just in case. Another new tool is using these blue bubbles with these. You could fling off and break your tether, kind of slingshot style. We're going to use that to our advantage a few times. Right here, we're going to use it to go the wrong direction because we have a secret area right up here. It is kind of a puzzle game. We want to fling the hermit crabs into their cage, and that'll open up where the gem is. And then once again, let's break our tether because we want to go back over here. I was not feeling that one. We are tethered up again, and we will break it, fling ourselves, but don't go too far or you'll hit those spikes, which is bad news for everyone. I am really pushing that to the limit. I barely did not die. Speedrun strat, not marathon safety though. Try and go under that. By not retethering, we didn't lose time having break the tether again. We will go ahead and get a little electricity, or yellow shine spark I like to call it. Oh, I barely missed him. I lost my blue. There we go. And now we'll go through here, and we're on to the last room of Chapter 2. Actually, we did not have any deaths in Chapter 2. And once again, we fall below the ocean is air. Make sense of that, I dare you. And that is it for Chapter 2. We are now going to get ready for Chapter 3. Chapter 3 brings in some additional fun items. That's actually a PB for Chapter 2 right there. And I don't think I've ever actually done it without dying. So we're at 4 deaths so far. And now we're on Chapter...
Congratulations.
Thank you. So this game does say no other game has ever done, definitely not Metroid amongst others. You start by going left. Mind-blowing. I mean, who would have figured you could go left? You grab 4 of those pips, and you could create a machine that will cut your tether. We are going to take advantage of those quite a bit in this chapter. But we will go ahead and also avoid that air, because that air, it just slows us down. And we're in a hurry. We want to save some time. We want to be as speedy as we can under the ocean, because it's kind of creepy under the ocean. New tool here are these bottles. Also, those clear walls you cannot grab. So you cannot wall climb on clear walls. So we want to be very mindful of those. But the new tool we have are these clear bottles, which invert your gravity, but also let you float. You could control it by pressing up and down. And by controlling it, you could kind of use it to smash through blocks, including like right here, where the hardest to find secret in the game is. That was incredibly difficult to find because, like I said, nobody really runs chapters 3 or 4. So going through this the first time, I had no idea how to find these collectibles. It was a definite challenge on casual, and even more of a challenge on speed running, because it's always good having a community that can help you out. Also, we are overdue for a death. Let's get tangled up as much as possible, and then do a death to get out of being tangled. All right, 5 deaths so far. And so we'll go on through here. Now we'll use the physics of our tether to hold down 4 switches at once, which is going to be used a few times. The first 2 times, nothing too tricky. We'll incorporate it with one of these clear bottles. This one, though, it's a bit of a puzzle. So we gotta solve, how do we hold down all 4 of these switches at once? And that's how we do it. Also, we want to make sure we don't overlook that gem. We missed that gem, and we're obviously not getting 100%. If for some reason I don't get 100%, I will donate $50 extra, just flat out, because I want to make sure I give you the experience that I said I'm going to give you with this game. Alright, now we'll head on down here, grab this gem, and this is incredibly tight. We will skip that safety air and instead just fling up here. We are still not tethered. These devices will shoot you out, which is going to be another new mechanic we have to worry about. When you're shot out, you will break your tether. So once again, we're being mindful of our tether. Grab that and we'll have another chance to break our tether again. How many times can I say tether? I did not need that air also. Is kind of safety air, kind of habitual air. I grabbed it out of habit. So up here, we want to grab this bubble because down here, we cannot grab these walls. They're clear walls, which means you don't have any tactile sense on them. And so if we were not with the bubble, we would not have been able to get out with the gem. That was an intended death. We're now at 6. By dying, I reset the cycle just enough where we could get past that jellyfish without waiting. $5 is worth it. Oh, who cares? We're just going nice and fast, raising money for a fantastic cause. Avoid bumping into those and avoid that bounce pad that'd fling you up into those spikes. And so, we now have the fun of contending with these grabber claws, these jellyfish, and the clear bottles that let us float up or down, and things are going to start getting just more and more complicated. It's a lot like juggling right here. We are trying to juggle so many things at once. We're also going to try to avoid some air bottles coming up, because we could save a little time by kind of skipping around, avoiding also some claws. Oh, did not quite get enough momentum. There we go. We need that momentum. Avoid that claw, and we'll save a little time doing that. Because speedrunning, it's all about finding ways to put yourself a little more at risk in order to go a little quicker. You might have saw there's a gem at the very top of this room. We have to go up there without a tether. Luckily, that claw will re-tether us, so all is good. We still don't have the gem until we hit that new air bottle, though, so be careful. And that claw missed me. That would be 7 deaths. Okay, 8 deaths. I'm going to take a safety strat. That is nearly pixel perfect with that, and I'm afraid my pixels are not as perfect today as I would like. But we are up to 8 deaths. Not too shabby. It's a game where you do die some, but it's very forgiving in the process. We'll shoot through all of these. If we grab that clear bottle, we could smash these ceiling blocks and open this door. We're going to take a few intentional deaths on this room. It's for speed's sake. These pips stick with us. That is 9 deaths. All intended. It takes longer to get back, 10 deaths. It takes longer to get back than to reset, so sometimes you just want to reset. We need to hit a switch over here to open that passage to that gem. Ride this bubble up, grab the gem, get over here to this air bubble before we drown, and keep on moving. Once again, we have a claw helping us get where we need to go. We'll skip that air bottle because it'll just slow us down. And this is the final real puzzle of Chapter 3. So we have the shine spark. We have to wait for it to come back. Otherwise, if we hit those jellyfish too soon, 11 deaths, I was tangled up again. Did not want to worry about detangling. If you hit those jellyfish before you get that shine spark refreshed, you will be killed by them, so... And this stage, completely different. The treasure is on this screen. It is not off to the right. Alright. And so, that is the official end of Chapter 3. We are at 11 deaths. And we now will go in Chapter 4, which is in many ways my favorite. We could go left again. This time we don't want to. We now have speed tech bubbles. They let us break our tether or push our tether longer than it should, because normally we couldn't reach that. Also, these come back if you hit an enemy, so we are going to use them. We're going to use this electrical spark to activate things, and we're going to hit enemies to keep it fresh and going. So, like that, we keep it, we keep it, we keep it. And we're going to use that for some real cool speed stuff coming up. But first, we gotta fling ourselves up here. Open that door up. Avoid that air bubble, because if you have a power-up and you hit a air bubble like that, it will reset your powers. It'll get rid of it, and that's no good for anyone. And then, speed strats right there to get up there, cutting out part of the intended route. This game is a lot of fun casually, and it is a blast to play speed-wise. Keep in mind, when you are shiny like this, anything that moves and is blue cannot hurt you. So we want to go up here. I need to wait for that fish to be in the right alignment. So we will just bop that fish. That fish probably deserved it. I imagine it might be an evil fish, probably not a friendly fish. Avoid that error so we could get over here. And then we will continue on. So here is a very important area. These blue spikes cannot hurt you because they're moving. That blue spike on the left wall is sparkly, so we have to hit it. If we did not hit it, we would miss the gem. And right now, if I lose my shine spark, I cannot get 100%. This is one of the hardest items in the game to get, because if you die in this room, you cannot get it without resetting the stage. You can't get the shine spark in this room. And then I call this Indiana Jones hallway. Bunch of things shooting at you and you just keep running. We could grab these blocks, which do work as air devices, and they will hold down switches. We will move 2 of these at once with a little bit of smartness to it. And if we do it right, we don't need to reset them, and we could just jump from this one over here. Otherwise, you would have to move 2 of them, and moving 2 of them is slow. And like I said before, we are all about the speed run right now. Also, now that I am shiny and yellow, nothing in this room except those blue spikes that don't move could hurt me. So I had nothing to worry about there. By keeping the shine spark from that previous room, we could save a few frames. Here we are going to take a intentional death. To grab this. That is 12 deaths now. Avoid those because they will kill you. We used up the shine. There we go. Just keep on moving nice and fast. Oh, come on. That is interesting. I haven't had that happen before, I don't think. That was a weird one. Fell through the floor a little early. All is good, though. We are going to try and cheat things a little bit right here with that blue shine spark. And now we want to be very careful getting this gem. Avoid the spike. What spike? That one. And then we will jump over here, go under that air bubble, go down nice and fast because we do need air ourselves. And we have only one more gem left to get. By grabbing this, we are tethered again, so we are good for breathing. We'll pull this in this room. Move up here. And for some reason, this one's electric. I don't know why it wasn't yellow until we touched it, but it's all good. Another Indiana Jones hallway, but this time going down. So keep avoiding those spikes that are just shooting at us. And once those last two down here are gone, the door opens. Fall down the middle. You might think you want to fall on one of the sides so that you could get those top ones to go away quicker. You don't want to do that. And then we will go grab this, avoid these little spikes. This is a very dangerous room. One of the most dangerous in the game. We want to be very smart and careful here because these cycles do not reset if you die in the room. And because of that, it could be very hard to reset what you're trying to do if you do happen to die. So right here, we lose our shine spark until it resets if we hit a big one, which we do need to do. And by the way, time is coming up in about 20 seconds or less. So we are almost done. In fact, about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Right when we fade in all the way. That there is below the ocean. That is 100%. That is all chapters, all gems.
Congratulations, Heponwana. That was a fantastic run. I'm definitely going to have to check this game out myself.
It's really chill. It's very inexpensive on Steam. It's a real fun one. Just keep playing. I think I counted 12 deaths. I may be off. If I am off, somebody in chat, feel free to put up the number. But I said I'm donating
I think it was 12. I think it was 12.
Perfect. I said $5 per death, so I'm going to donate $60 as soon as I am done with this. I encourage, if anyone wants to join me on this donation rush, even just $1 per, 50 cents per, bring in a little bit more money for Little Warriors, because fantastic cause, helping people who could really use it, and that's what we're here for. Speed and helping people. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me. This marathon's been great. No additional real shout outs, except I want to say a shout out to the next run. I also do run Leckhead. I am not nearly as good as Uncle Slam. Uncle Slam is amazing, puts on a great show. So I just want to give a shout out, say, watch the next run. It's going to be fantastic.
Absolutely. And if, like Heponwana, you're planning on donating for each of the deaths, don't forget to hit one of the incentives. We have a lot of fantastic incentives coming up, and you don't want to miss out by not assigning your donation to one of them. You've had a couple of donations during Heponwana's run. Got one from Buzzer Yum Yum, who says, "Love you, Heponwana. Always happy seeing you have fun. Go get them bubbles." That was a $30 donation. Thank you, Buzzer Yum Yum. Also, we had a donation from Mike O'Shea, for $20. Mike said, Below the Ocean looks great. I've got to try it out. Excited for the upcoming run of The Witness, one of my favorite puzzle games. I won't be able to see it live, but I look forward to hearing about the different randomizers in the VOD. Donation goes to the Stardew Valley bonus run.
Buzzer Yum Yum, I just want to say Buzzer Yum Yum is my partner, so actually a shout out to her for always supporting me.
Fantastic. Love it. Well, thank you very much, Heponwana. It was great having you here for the Gibbon race and Below the Ocean run. We will take a quick intermission. Don't go anywhere.